So here's what I've come to understand. Life is a kind, generous, patient teacher who is allowing us to experience what we need to experience as many times as we need to experience it until we finally learn what we need to learn. Hi, I'm Charlie McKeever, your Happy Man coach, and this is what's become obvious to me. It's become what I've come to understand in doing my own personal growth and self-development and working with men, in reading books and having countless thousands of hours of conversation, listening to stories, interacting with each other, hearing how we're all different versions of each other, how our life, the details of our life vary, but there is a common thread, a common theme that keeps reoccurring over and over again, and that is that we have a relationship with life. We have a relationship with everyone in our life, people. We also have a relationship with things like money and food and fitness. We also have a relationship with ourself. Relationship with ourself that's so very important because we're the common denominator. Our relationship with ourself touches everything in our life, every other relationship in our life. And so it's so incredibly important that we recognize that we're not at odds with life. Life doesn't suck. Life isn't out to get us. We're not victims or destined to have bad luck. We are in a relationship with life. We have the opportunity. Life is teaching us something in any given moment. We have the opportunity to learn something new. That life is really giving us a chance to learn. Where we get into trouble is when we think this shouldn't be this way. This shouldn't be happening. I don't like this. I don't want this. Everyone outside of me should change so that I can be comfortable. This is where we get into trouble, because I don't remember where I read it or where it was said or exactly how it was said, but it said the reasonable man changes according to his circumstances, but the unreasonable man wants his circumstances to change to please him. And anytime that we're in this place where we have external forces, things, people, circumstances that are outside of us that we really don't have any control over. We might have some influence, but we don't really have any control over. Anytime we want those things to change in order to make our insides feel better, then we are in a dependency. We are in an external dependency that means we can only be okay if that we are saying, I need these external things that I don't have any control over to change in order for me to be okay. And that is a precarious place to be. So better for us to take ownership of ourselves and make changes in order to adapt to what's going on than to expect something outside of us that we don't have any control over to change. And so this is where we start to realize that when something is inconveniencing us, when something's taking too long, when something doesn't meet our expectations, yes, we can get upset about it, but it doesn't change the thing. It doesn't change what's happening. And in fact, if we'll take a moment to look at it and say, okay, hold on. What if I slowed down right now? What if I looked at what I was thinking about this moment? What if I looked at my expectations? What if I looked at my desire? What if I looked at the story that I'm telling myself about how this is supposed to go or what's supposed to happen or any of it, and just said, is that really true? Is that really true? Is it true that this is supposed to be different? And do I know what comes next? Do I really know the future? Because all we ever have is now. We're only living in this moment. Our life is unfolding in this moment. So we don't know what the future holds. So if we tell ourselves a story that this needs to hurry up, this needs to happen faster, this isn't the way this is supposed to go, because of our story that we believe some other event, right? If this doesn't hurry up, then I'm going to be late for my whatever. If I'm late for my whatever, then bad things will happen, right? People will be upset, and then I won't be okay. But we don't know the future, so if we just slow down and just say, you know what? Maybe this is trying to teach me something. Maybe there's a lesson here. Maybe I can slow down and accept this moment and still be okay. Maybe I'm learning patience. Maybe I'm learning empathy. Maybe I'm learning how to just regulate my own emotional state. Maybe I'm fill in the blank. So if we'll take it as a moment of schooling, right? A moment of learning. And all too often we think that once we get out of high school, once we get out of college, once we get out from under this forced education, you have to take these classes, you have to get these credits, you have to take the exam, you have to study this homework. We want so desperately to be free of that, but what we don't realize is that class is in session. Life is a classroom, and class is in session, and that we have something to learn from now until the time we're dirt. That we're always going to be learning something along the way if we are receptive, if we will be a student, if we will pay attention, and if we will allow it. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, brother. Some thoughts that I had. I had something earlier today that didn't go the way I wanted it to, didn't go the way I expected it to. I wanted it to be different. And I had to breathe and slow way down and remind myself that I was okay, that nothing was happening other than my expectations weren't being met, and that maybe this was an opportunity for me to learn something. And I did. I learned something, and I grew, and I regulated my emotions, and I just took my time, and everything worked out fine. I didn't get upset. I didn't change the mood of the room. I didn't change the tone of anything. I didn't make anybody flustered or inefficient because they were afraid that I was mad. I just chilled, and everything went fine. And now I'm headed home. So I wanted to share that with you today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.